Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a girl Cheche Stitches. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the steps I took in making this pyramid Ankara bag. Subscribe to this channel for more beautiful videos like this to come. Let's get started. The first step I'm going to take in making up this bag is drafting out the pattern. I'm going to be cutting out the base of this pyramid bag together with the whole body of the bag. The length I'm working with for this pyramid bag together with the base of the bag is 9 inches. Remember that this paper is on fold. And the width I'm working with is 6 inches. That is how wide you want the bag to look. I'm going to separate the base from the main body of the bag. I don't mean dividing, but just trying to show you guys. Using this drafting paper, I came down by 7 inches. When I opened up the drafting paper, the width of the base I took is 4 inches. The upper part of a pyramid shape and the base part is not equal. So at this upper part, I'm going to mark in 1.5 inches on both sides. Then I'll slant the line to meet the base. I don't want the slant line to be sharp. So after slanting one part of this, I'm going to use my free hand to make it curvy, you understand, so that it won't be sharp. After slanting one part, I'm going to fold it on fold just like this to slant the second part. After I was done drafting out the pattern for the pyramid bag, this is how it looks like. I'm working with a marco for the thickness of this bag. So I've already gotten my marco and I'm going to place the pattern on it this way. I'll use my chalk to trace it out. So this is the whole body of the bag, and the next thing I cut out is the flap for the bag. The length I measured out for the flap is 6 inches and the width is 2.5 inches. So guys, watch carefully how I'm going to be dividing this flap. I first came down by 1 inches and I'm going to mark a straight line there. Then from the line of 1 inches, I'm going to come down by 2 inches. From the line of 2 inches, I came down by 3 inches. So I first came down by 1 inches, I came down by 2 inches, and the remaining one is 3 inches. That is total of 6 inches. So this 1 inches I measured out will help me to attach the flap to the bag. And the 2 inches part is the upper base of the bag. The 3 inches part is the main part of the flap because you'll be attaching the magnetic pin to it. The shape of the flap is in a triangle form, so I'm going to shape it in a triangle shape. I'm going to start the slanting from the line of 3 inches and I'll slant it to the center of the flap. And the triangle is not pointed, so I'm going to use my free hand to just create a curve at the pointed parts of the triangle. I'm going to be dividing all these marked lines. So for you to be able to arrange it back accurately, I'm going to draw arrow directing to each other. So I've already gotten the Ankara fabric I'm working with. When cutting out the Ankara fabric, you cut out the Ankara fabric 1 inches extra away from the shape of the bag. So I'm going to use my fairing gum to gum this markle to the Ankara fabric. Like I said previously, I'm going to be dividing every marked line of the flap. The reason why you should divide it is because when you are opening and closing the bag, it will be freely done. So I'm going to be gumming it to the Ankara fabric, and that marked arrow will help me to arrange it accurately back. The next step I'm going to take now, I'm going to trim this allowance a little bit and I'm going to make notches to it. After making notches, I'm going to gum this extra allowance so that the edge of the flap will be neat. I'll also do the same thing to the main body of the bag. So this is the main body of the bag, this is the flap of the bag, this is the side of the bag, and this is the handle of the bag. For you to be able to get the length of the side of the bag, I'm going to take the measurement from the beginning of the bag to the end of the bag, and after measuring it, I got 17 inches. So for the length of the side is 17 inches, but I added extra 1 inches because I'm going to be folding this material. So the total length is now 18 inches. And the width of the side will be equal with the width of the base, which is 4 inches, but I measured out 5 inches. Like I said, I'm going to be folding the side, that is why I added extra 1 inches both at the length and the width of the side. So I folded it on fold this way. I'm going to be stitching one part by half an inch, stitch the other part by half an inch, and when stitching, don't close all the parts. I'm going to leave a small space about 1.5 inches that I'll use to turn the side inside out. For the handle of the bag, I cut out a random length. The length I'm working with is 19 inches and the width is 2 inches. I will also go right to my sewing machine and fold the handle just like this. After I was done with the folding, this is how it looks like. So I'm going to be making notches at the edges of the side, and I'm going to follow that small opening that I left to turn the side inside out. After folding the side of the bag, the main length of the side of the bag is 17 inches. 17 inches divided by 2 will give me 8.5 inches. So 8.5 inches is the actual length of the side of the bag, and the width will be 4 inches. Don't forget, after folding, not 5 but 4 inches. So I'm going to quickly take you guys on this simple hack in adding the side accurately. I first of all got the center of the main body of my bag. I'm also going to get the center of the side, and I'm going to trace it just like I'm about to stitch it together, so that I'll show you guys the reason why you should minus extra 1 inches away from the side. So if you trace it like you want to stitch it, you see that you have excess allowance. So I'm going to be folding 1 inches just like this. I'll go right on my sewing machine and stitch it. So the only hack there is minusing 1 inches away from the side, so that the side of the bag will fit accurately to the main body of the bag. So I cut out a tiny mark hole that will be able to pass through the handle of the bag, so that the handle of the bag will be able to stand. After folding the side of the bag, this is how it looks like. So the next step I'm going to be taking now is adding the handle to the flap. So at this upper base of the flap, I'm going to find the center, that is the 2 inches part. I'll make a small hole there so that I can pass the handle through. So the pyramid bag I'm recreating, they added something like a silver bead to the handle before attaching it to the flap. But this one I have here is not wide enough so that the handle of the bag will pass through. So I got this small pink bead, but unfortunately the pink bead was not even wide enough for the handle to pass through. So I got another bead that is wider than the pink bead, and I'm going to pass the handle through it. After I was done passing the handle through the flap, I'm going to get the main body of the bag to check if the length of the handle is lengthy before finishing the whole bag. So after checking it, I discovered that the handle was already okay, but I just had to reduce it a little bit. Like I said previously, I cut out a random length for the handle. So after I was done folding and adding it to the flap, the actual length of the handle is now 6.5 inches. Remember that the handle is on fold. So I'm going to trim the excess allowance on the handle and I'm going to leave just a small allowance. So that small allowance I left, I'm going to add gum to it to gum it down to the flap of the bag. I'm also going to be working with a glue to make sure that the handle of the bag is staying strong to the flap. The next step now is that I'm going to be attaching the magnetic pin to the main body of the bag. With the help of the flap, I'm going to target the right place to attach the magnetic pin to the main body of the bag. I'll be working with taffeta material, and when cutting out the taffeta material for the bag, you don't cut out exactly using the shape of the bag, but half inches, like you understand, away from the shape of the bag, because this is serving as the lining to cover the rough parts of the bag. The same stuff applies to the flap, but the only difference is that I'm going to be attaching the second magnetic pin to the taffeta, not the main flap. You understand? So watch carefully, you definitely understand the steps I'm taking. I'm going to go right on my sewing machine and stitch up the flap to the main bag. After stitching the flap to the main body of the bag, the next thing now is to stitch up the side to the main body of the bag. I'm going to mark the center of the main body of the bag and also the center of the side. So for you to add the side accurately, you first stitch up one part of the side, then you get the other side, you stitch up one part, then you go back and complete the first side you started and complete the other side. So afterwards done attaching the side to the bag, this is how it looks like. So guys, these are steps I took in making this pyramid bag. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more beautiful videos like this. Share this video to people that you know that it will be interesting to. Thank you guys for watching and see you all in my next tutorial. Bye.